Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about a product that I never intended to pick up. However, when I realized it was an iridescent situation, you guys know that's like my kryptonite in the beauty world. So without further ado, grab yourselves a coffee. We're gonna be here for a little bit. If you don't want coffee, you know, grab yourself a snack. Let's dive into this product. So I picked up the Chanel Fluid Illuminizer, or it's called the Illuminating Fluid. They have about 3 colors of these that are part of the permanent line. This one is limited edition. It's in the color Halo, and it is a pink iridescent with like a green flip, which I'm not gonna lie, that green flip was, I was like, that's never gonna work. I don't really know what they were thinking to put a green flip into any kind of complexion product, but I swatched it. I went to my local Bloomingdale's. Just check your local department stores and your local Chanel boutiques. Some of them still have this in stock. Now, as somebody with combination to oily skin, there was a reason I had never picked up this product. It just illuminating, that word is a trigger word for me. Somebody with combination to oily skin never wants illuminating anything in their complexion products. I don't need anything to make my face look dewier than what it normally looks like, and I don't want anything that is gonna make me look greasier than what I already look like throughout the day, especially living in such a hot and humid climate like Florida. Illuminating fluids are the things I steer far away from. However, my local Bloomingdale's had this in stock, and everybody's been raving about this. And I follow some YouTubers on here who also purchased this and really liked it, but I really couldn't tell the flip. I couldn't see it on camera. So I went in store, I swatched this on my skin, on the back of my hand. First of all, I wanted to know the finish. Second of all, that green flip had me all out of sorts. However, my Chanel essay at my local Bloomingdale's store told me this is really beautiful, and I'm very familiar with your skin type. I think you're gonna like this. So whatever, I went in, I swatched it, and I ended up picking up a bottle. Now, I did not apply this on my face before I picked it up, so let's keep that in mind. I went ahead and I took a chance on this because I had a gift card. So essentially I got about maybe 20% off of this product. It does have a pump, and what I like about this pump is it allows you enough control to let out as much product as you want. You really have a very precise control with this pump, which is essential for the type of product that it is. It's made in France, 12-month shelf life, and this is a 1 fluid ounce bottle. So this is a full pump, which I think is more than enough for your entire face. And as you can see, it's fairly on the thicker side. It's not as liquidy as one would think. It has more of a firmer consistency. And when you spread this out, it definitely has opacity. Now, I'm not sure if you're picking up that green flip. I'm gonna show you this in direct sunlight, which, by the way, I've done a shorts on this, so if you want to see it, go ahead and catch that. I showed you this blended out on my arm in all kinds of like natural direct sunlight, and I paired it with my Ultra Latant Chanel foundation, which is one of my holy grail foundations, in BD31. So as you can see, as you blend this out in the back of the hand, it is a wet cooling, moisturizing kind of finish, which is exactly what I was afraid of, because again, that kind of dewiness is not what I need on my face. But then it starts to set. It will not completely set into any kind of matte or satin finish, but it will set enough where it's not gonna move around and your hair is not gonna stick to it should you choose to use this on the high points of your face like you would a powder highlight. I'm gonna show you how this would look like mixed with foundation, and I'm also gonna show this to you using it on the high points of my face. This works really well under and over powder, however you want to use it. Its natural finish is one where you get just the right amount of luminosity. It is buildable, but it is ethereal. It's barely detectable on the skin unless you, again, choose to build it up as much as you want. Chanel does that je ne sais quoi so well, and I feel like this is what this product gives you when mixed with a foundation or used on the high points of the cheeks. Now that I've allowed for this to set down, I want you to see that it's definitely gonna give you a glow. But do you see that the green flip is absolutely minimal? I'm gonna show you this in just a second in direct sunlight. I know it's very difficult for the camera to pick up its subtle duochrome kind of finish, but it flips from a light rosy pink to a opalescent, slightly green shift. I have to say, this is probably one of the most unique illuminating fluids I've seen Chanel come out with. I have seen, this is not a new product for them. They launched this, they do limited edition launches of this quite often, and they actually have 3 shades part of their permanent collection that I've actually seen and swatched in person and haven't been very wowed or moved to add to my makeup routine. So I'm just gonna continue to let this set on the back of my hand because I wanna show you something afterwards. I'm going to apply this in 2 ways. I'm gonna apply the luminizer on this side of my face. I'm doing half a pump, and I'm just gonna spread this out, and then on the other side of my face, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mix it in directly with my foundation so that you guys can see the difference between the 2 different applications. This does have a scent. It has that very typical Chanel scent. So if you don't like scented products, you're probably not gonna like this. But this is applied directly to the skin, and as you can see, it is literally barely detectable. And it doesn't accentuate, as you can see, it doesn't accentuate any of my breakouts, nor does it accentuate any of my enlarged pores right here. So again, not something that I was expecting. Usually illuminating fluids of any kind, they just don't work for my particular skin type. But because this has a beautiful natural finish, it works really well. And I believe that that kind of finish is what makes it such a versatile product to use with all kinds of foundations. Now I'm gonna go in with the Beauty Blender, my Chanel foundation. I'm gonna do half a pump of that since we're only doing half the face, and then half a pump of this. And then we are going to apply this to this side of the face. I just leave it on the sponge because at the end of the day, it just mixes itself, you know? I don't need to do too much with it. I prefer this method because, again, I have a toddler, so I'm very pressed for time all the time. And so just getting it done in one go instead of doing it in layers is what works best for me, because I really don't see a difference between applying one product and then going in with the other. But I'm gonna show it to you. So on this side of the face, we have mixed both the foundation and the luminizer. I haven't applied my foundation to this side of the face, so let's go ahead and do that. And I'm gonna use the tip of the sponge as to not mix the bottom part that we just used. Now, this foundation that I'm using has a satin matte-like finish. Again, another reason why I didn't want to pick up this product, because I think we can all agree that most of the time matte satin products are not going to mix well with any kind of dewy products, especially when applied over and layered over the skin. A lot of the times they just lift up your product. Okay, so this is layered, and then this is mixed. I really can't tell a difference. So mixing it for me would be the best way to go. Now, because this is like a satin matte finish, I don't need to set my face. And because this has a natural finish, I also don't need to set the face, because it does not make my foundation dewy. Granted, it's not as satin as it normally is, but nonetheless, it is satin. I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Bronze Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. If you guys remember this palette, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of the contour it came with this little mini brush. You guys remember this? Nostalgia. Now I just apply a little bit of that to the hollows of my cheek. And I didn't even tell you guys, for color reference, I use the light one, whatever that is, whatever she calls that now. There's been so many changes with a color lately that I can't keep up. Anybody else? Just products being renamed. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Chanel blush in the color 260 Alizane. This is actually limited edition packaging. As you can tell, it has the red CCs. Usually these CCs are white in these compacts. And this is the original formula, the one that we all love before Chanel ruined their blush line. And it has a little luminosity to it. As you can see, it has a little bit of a gold shift to it. Let me swatch it for you guys. Absolutely silky. This blush is just stunning and blends itself. This is what it looks like swatched. Nothing, absolutely nothing will ever compare to these blushes. And I think I've said this before, but I do know I get a lot of newcomers in this channel. I had actually bought 6 colors before they decided to reformulate this and not tell Soul, because that's what Chanel does. Like, they like to reformulate things and not tell you and see if you notice a difference. I feel like that's their whole game. Using a Sonia G Cheek Pro brush and applying a little bit of this onto the cheeks. I did try the reformulated version of this, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I just didn't waste my money. So for the past, I think like 5 years, I've just been burning through the blushes I did buy, because I bought 6 shades. So I think I'm gonna pan this one this year, and I think I may have 3 left after this, or 4, I'm not sure. I think it's 3. I'm just hoping that by the time I'm done panning the original formula, it comes back. Yeah, that they come to their senses and they're like, oh, you guys, we're gonna just go back to our original formula because that's what you guys liked and it sold better. Going in with a Real Techniques Travel 407 brush. This came in that set that comes in that cute little bag that's like unicorn iridescent looking, and I got mine on Amazon. I will link it in the comment section below. They're great, although they are mini. I've been using them for like 8 months and they perform just as good as the full ferruled version. This has a little bit like remnants of setting powder, but I just want to blend in the blush a little bit. And I mean, just look at that. Nothing will ever compare to how smooth and beautiful the original Chanel blushes looked. Nothing. I don't care what anybody tells me. Not because I haven't tried the reformulated version, so let's be clear. I'm gonna apply some of the Milk Grip Eye Primer, just a little bit, because I'm gonna be using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glaze On Shadow. And I got this because you guys know that I love that Urban Decay Single Shadow in Soltis. That's a powder shadow. And you guys, I have gotten so many compliments on that powder shadow. Every time I do a short and I'm wearing that, somebody comments, what are you wearing on your eyes? And so when they came out with these, I was like, oh, I want to try it, because I find that Frost Boss, which is the color I picked up, it's this lilac iridescent finish, and I find it to be kind of like the cooler version of Soltis. However, you have to shake these, and the wand is great. I find it to be a good size, but as the name suggests, it's a glaze, and I find that I'm getting creasing with this product. So with this, you get that glazed effect, which is like if you like just a minimal wash of color, you're gonna get that with this. But I find that, again, I don't have a lot of time, so this may be irrelevant to some of you who, you know, don't have children or have a lot more time to do your makeup. I don't have time to allow this to set on my eyes. If you allow it to set, it will not crease, but allowing it to set takes some time. I would say, honestly, and I'm just ballparking this, but it would take about a minute for this to set. The wand is great. It's a very like hand grip friendly, and I'm looking down because, again, I'm allowing it to set, you know, now that I have time because I'm filming. But yeah, you see, you're getting like a very light wash of color, and it's still wet. It's still wet. I can feel it wet. When it's wet, it has this cooling sensation. And what happens is, if I don't allow it to set, I get a really big unflattering crease, and I don't like that. I have to play around with it a little bit more because I actually want to know how this is going to perform and I'm gonna swatch it for you guys. Over powder products, I wonder if I have to allow it the same amount of time to set if applied over a powder product. Now, I've only used this over cream shadows. Like for example, I use this over my Merit cream shadow, which sets very quickly and it sets down to like a matte kind of finish, and it made that crease, and those shadows don't budge. Here is that swatch. It is a beautiful color because depending on where the light hits it, you can't see it, but then you can see it. Not sure if the camera is gonna pick this up. Again, I did a shorts on this to show you guys, but I'm gonna give it its fair chance and I'm gonna continue to test it. But as of right now, I don't think this works for my lifestyle. I think that the color is beautiful, but I just hope that Urban Decay maybe makes a powder version of this color. Okay, I think it's starting to feel less wet, but you see, all I did was look up at you guys for that moment, and I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you can see. You guys see that, you see that creasing right there? There's a minimal creasing, but it's because I was also looking down most of the time. Like, can you imagine if I just went about my day, the amount of creasing I would get, not allowing this to set, and it's still not fully set. Your girl doesn't have that kind of time. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Chanel eyeliner. This is a number 19 Blue Jean. This is part of my project pan. It is a navy blue eyeliner, which I thought would be super fitting to go with this lilac look. And all I'm gonna do is slightly tightline the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm gonna go in with the Le 8 Hypnose mascara by Lancome. These were recently on sale at Ulta, and I picked up the purple and blue version. I do like this mascara. It's got like a serum in it that nourishes the lashes. And what I like mainly about this mascara is it doesn't make your lashes hard. You can put this on and it doesn't make them firm or crunchy. It gives you length and fullness. You don't get the clumpy lash. The wand is nice. It has this hourglass kind of shape to it. And this mascara is also part of my project pan. So I'm really happy to be able to pan this year. It is a glass bottle and it has an hourglass shape, much like the wand. Now for brows, I'm gonna be using the Too Faced brow wig. This has kind of like these fibers on it. I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I don't think so. There you go. I think you can see the fibers on it. Do you see that? It's actually pretty cool. I'm in the color soft brown. It does a good job at coating my brows, filling them in. Now when I bought this, I had no idea it had these like fibers. I bought this because it happened to be on sale during a 21 days of beauty at Ulta, and I was like, let's give it a try. I'm always willing to try a new brow product, and it's actually really good. You don't get a crunchy brow. It is very pigmented, so go in with a light hand. Now for lips, I'm going in with my favorite Merit lipstick in the color Baby. It's this like pinky mauve shade. This is like my third tube of this, so it's probably one of my most used lipsticks in my entire collection. They absolutely nailed this color. I do have a Merit affiliate link, so if you want to purchase this color and you want to support my channel, I would be super grateful if you use that link in the description box below. Now that I have you guys up close and personal, I'm going to show you how you can apply this to the high points of your face. Like I said, you have full control with this pump, so I'm going to show you how little I would personally use. Look at the minuscule amount that I have picked up, because I'm literally only going to apply this to this section of my face. And look how beautiful that looks. Do you guys see that? It's not lifting my makeup, and this foundation has already set. I did that on purpose. I wanted to wait until I knew that my foundation was fully set. And mind you, I have applied this even after, like, I put setting powder, I think it was yesterday, over this, and then I went in with the luminizer. It did not lift my makeup. So this is how much I would apply. But I'm gonna build this up just so that you guys can see that it's buildable and how well it works. Now, you can put it on your brow bone, which I personally like to do as well. But just look at that. And I'm blending this out with my finger. I haven't used a brush with this yet, but it's just the consistency of this formula is stunning. And you can't even tell it has a green flip, but to the naked eye, you know that there's something beautiful and ethereal there. You just don't know what it is. Let's do the other side so I don't look like a crazy person. I have not applied this to the eyes yet as eyeshadow, which is another way I want to use it. And remember, guys, I applied powder, blush to my face, and it's not disturbing the blush. So again, that's one layer. Let's go in with two. Let's apply some to my brow bone. And just so that you can see my eyeshadow, it has now completely set, but you can tell it took quite some time for it to set. And I don't have that kind of time. The Illuminizer has already set completely on the back of my hand. I would say that the Illuminizer actually sets faster than the Urban Decay eyeshadow. So there's that. Now you can see this is the natural finish. You can see there's no dewiness. The luminosity is just like the same luminosity you would get with a powder highlight, but it doesn't look powdery. It's almost like you get a healthy, dewy finish without the stickiness and greasiness of the dew, if that makes sense. I mean, I love it. I think that this color should be part of the permanent line due to its uniqueness. So I hope they bring this back. But I would see if you guys can find it at your local stores. Now, I wanted to show you, it doesn't completely set because, watch, So I don't have anything on my fingers. And when I touch it, it's not sticky, it's not dewy. But if I rub it, it acts very much kind of like a powder product. If you rub it, it's gonna transfer to your fingers, as you can see. So I personally love this product. I was very pleasantly surprised with it. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great new addition to my makeup collection. I think it's really fun to use. If you picked up this particular color, let me know in the comment section below. Do you love it? How do you use it? I'm gonna continue to test it. I actually wanna see how this is gonna look like on the eyes in replacement to an eyeshadow. Like if I'm in a hurry and I don't want to take an eyeshadow palette and I just want to do foundation, this, and blush with a little bit of mascara, I would love to see how this is going to perform. So I will keep you guys posted on that. Now, for those of you who have been using this for years, give me your feedback. Tell me, you know, what kind of skin type you have, because that matters. I want to know all the different ways that you guys use this. I've heard people even use it on their décolleté for, you know, the summer season. So there's also that. I feel like it's a very multifunctional product, but I don't feel that there's a lot of people who have combination to oily skin on this platform talking about this product and how it performs. It performs really well. And I would recommend you guys pick up a bottle if possible. Don't be afraid of the green flip. It actually works. Weirdly enough, it works. So thank you guys so much for watching. That completes today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little sit down playing around with makeup. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.